Pleasant day to all of you, my dear grade 4 learners. Today, I am very much glad to teach you mathematics, and we will make it Magdalene. I am your teacher from Manabo Pilot Elementary School, and just call me Sir Joulse. Get ready with your pen and notebook for you to write on the important points. Today's lesson, we are going to travel through mathematics. Mathematics for Quarter 3, Week 6. Look at these pictures. What would be the activity or program that will be implemented? Very good. It's all about greening the environment or the tree planting program. Now children, why are trees important? Trees are important because it beautifies the environment and it gives us fresh air. So, what are we going to do now? We have to take care of all the trees. Let's take this problem. There were 12 students joined the tree planting program during the celebration of the Earth Day. If each of them will plant 2 seedlings, how many seedlings will be planted in all? What would be our number sentence? Our number sentence would be 12 times 2 equals n. Another question. If there were 24 hens, how many students there would be? What would be our number sentence? It would be 24 divided by 2 equals n. Here are our number sentences. 12 times 2 equals n. By multiplying the 2, the value of our n then is 24. Second number sentence is 24 divided by 2 equals n. 24 divided by 2 will give us 12. In this episode, we will learn what an equation is and what are the properties of operations used in different equations. An equation, it is a mathematical sentence that states the equality of expressions. For example, we have 12 times 2 equals 2 times 12. 12 times 2 is 24 equals 2 times 12 is 24. We have the same products, which is 24. And that is the first properties of operations, and we call it commutative property. Commutative property states that changing the order of the addends or factors do not affect the sum or product. Let's take these examples. 12 plus 8 equals 8 plus 12. Though we change the order of the addends, we still come up with the sum or total, which is 20. The same is true with this example. 9 times 3 equals 3 times 9. 9 times 3 equals 27. And 3 times 9 equals 27. Still, we have the same product, although we have changed the order of the factors. And that is what we call, again, what property is that? Very good. We call it commutative property. Let's move on to another property. And we call it this time as the associative property. Associative property states that changing the groupings of the addends or factors do not affect the sum or total. Let's take, for instance, open parenthesis, 9 plus 8, close parenthesis, plus 28 equals 9 plus open parenthesis, 8 plus 28, close parenthesis. Open parenthesis, 9 plus 8, close parenthesis, equals 17, plus 28 equals 9 plus open parenthesis, 8 plus 28, close parenthesis, equals 36. 17 plus 28 equals 45, equals 9 plus 36 equals 45. If you have noticed, we have the same sum or total, which is 45. Example number 2. Open parenthesis, 8 times 5, close parenthesis, times 4 equals 8 times open parenthesis, 5 times 4, close parenthesis. Open parenthesis, 8 times 5, close parenthesis, times 4 equals 8 times open parenthesis, 5 times 4, close parenthesis. We have to multiply first the numbers inside the parenthesis. 8 times 5 equals 40 times 4 equals 8 times 5 times 4 equals 20. 40 times 4 equals 8 times 20. 40 times 4 is 160 equals 8 times 20 is 160. As you can see, grade 4, that our products are both 160, and that means the associative property. Number 3 is what we call the zero property. Zero property states that any number multiplied by 0 is equal to 0. Example, we have 13 times 0 equals 0, or 0 times 13 equals 0. 13 times 0 equals 0, or 0 times 13 equals 0. What do we call this property, children? Exactly! We call it zero property. Number 4 is the identity property. 1 is the identity property. Any number multiplied by 1, the answer is the number. For example, 1 times 15 equals 15, or 15 times times 1 equals 15. What property is that? Very good. It is the identity property. The last property that we are going to discuss is the distributive property of multiplication over addition. Listen and watch carefully, children, for this is somewhat complicated compared to other four. But actually not. We can do it. Think positive, for we are going to make it mathedly. The distributive property of multiplication over addition. Let's simplify what this means. The sum of two numbers multiplied by a factor is equal to the sum of each of the numbers multiplied to the factor. For instance, 10 times, open parenthesis, 2 plus 5, close parenthesis, equals, open parenthesis, 10 times 2, close parenthesis, plus 10 times 5, close parenthesis. How are we going to simplify this? First, we are going to group the numbers using parentheses. From 10 times, open parenthesis, 2 plus 5, close parenthesis, equals, open parenthesis, 10 times 2. Close parenthesis, then write the plus sign just after the two numbers are grouped, then again, open parenthesis, times 5, close parenthesis. Next, bring down 10 times sign. Add 2 plus 5 is 7, equals 10 times 2 is 20. Write the plus sign, then 10 times 5 is 50. 10 times 7 will give us 70, equals 20 plus 50 will give us 70. So, we come up with the same answer as 70. And that is the distributive property of multiplication over addition. Take note, children, that if you come up with both the same answer, then you have done the correct way of grouping and simplifying the equations. Now, you are going to evaluate the equation by giving the missing numbers. 8 times, open parenthesis, 4 plus 3, close parenthesis, equals, open parenthesis, blank, times blank, close parenthesis, plus, open parenthesis, blank, times blank, close parenthesis. Blank times blank equals blank plus blank. Blank equals blank. I will give you 20 seconds to do it. Okay, let's see if you have done it correctly. We have these equations. What are we going to do now is to group 8 and 4. Plus, we're going to group 8 and 3. Bring down 8, times the sum of 4 and 3, which is 7, equals 8 times 4 will give us 32 plus 8 times 3 will give us 24. 8 times 7 then is 56 equals 32 plus 24 is 56. Therefore, we have the same answer, which is 56. Who among you children got it right? Great job! At this point, I am going to test whether you have understood the lesson. Take a sheet of paper and a pen and try to answer the following exercises. Review the directions. Find the missing number or numbers, then identify what property of operation is expressed in the equations. 2 points for each number. 1 point for finding the missing number or numbers, and another 1 point for identifying the properties of operation expressed in the equation. Number 1. 0 times 1. What is the missing numbers? We have 0. What property is that? Is it commutative property, identity property, or zero property? The answer is zero property. Who got it right? Nice! What the zero property tells us? It tells us that any number multiplied by 0 equals 0. Number 2. 2 times 3 equals blank times 2. What is the missing number? We have 3. What property is that? Is it commutative property or associative property? The answer must be commutative property. Who got it right? Very good. What the commutative property tells us, children? It tells us that changing the order of the factors do not affect the product. Number 3. 7 times blank equals 7. What is the missing number? We have 1. Why 1? What property is that? Is it associative property, identity property, or zero property? The answer is identity property. Did you get it? That's awesome. What identity property, children? What does the property tell us? It tells us that any number multiplied by 1 is the number, meaning 1 is the identity property or the identity number. Number 4. 2 plus, open parenthesis, 4 plus 5, close parenthesis, equals, open parenthesis, blank, plus 4, close parenthesis, plus 5. What is the missing number? We have 2. What property is that? Is it associative property or distributive property of multiplication over addition? It would be associative property. Who got it right? Very good. What the commutative property tells us? It tells us that changing the grouping of the addends do not affect the sum or total. Number 5. 3 times open parenthesis 2 plus 4 close parenthesis equals open parenthesis blank times blank close parenthesis plus 3 times 4 close and open parenthesis. What are the missing numbers? What two numbers are to be multiplied? The two numbers to be multiplied are 3 and 2. What property is that? Is it associative property or distributive property of multiplication over addition? The answer is distributive property of multiplication over addition. Who got it right? You're so bright. What is the property states? The property states that the sum of two numbers multiplied by a factor is equal to the sum of each of the numbers multiplied to the factor. Now, count the number of your scores. Who among you got perfect score? You are excellent! Who got 8 to 9 points? You are very good! Who got 7 and below? You are good, but keep on doing. Keep on learning. Surely, for the next time, you will get higher than today. Congratulations to all of you, and hope you have learned a new one. Once again, this is Sir Joulse saying that the only way to learn mathematics is to do mathematics, after which math is mathdali. Stay at home, keep safe to everyone.